Hey guys, today I'm here with a video that's a little different than normal. I've been doing a lot of thrift shopping ones, but today I thought I would do a dog video. So what I'm going to talk about today is grooming. And I spent a good part of my morning today bathing and grooming both of my dogs, and that's how the idea came to me. So before I get into what products I use, let me first tell you a little bit about my dogs and their coats. That way you can compare and kind of figure out if it'll work for you or not. I have two chihuahuas. I'm just going to show you pictures because they're downstairs. It's hard to film the video with them up here. So this is Macy. And she's my little girl chihuahua. She is going to be about 11 in 2 months. But her coat is, she's a smooth coat chihuahua. Her fur is really soft and smooth, but it's dense. And then this is my boy. His name is Jordan, and he's a long-haired chihuahua, and he is 6 years old. Okay, I'm going to start with just pulling some things out of their drawer. I have a little drawer in my bathroom that I keep full of their products, Macy and Jordan, and it's got all their grooming stuff in it. And then I also have like a little bucket with shampoos and things. So let me just get started. The first thing I always do is the nails if they need to be done. On average, I bathe them usually every month and a half to 2 months. Unless they get dirty, then it's more often. But they don't spend a lot of time outside, and they never go out alone, so they don't get very dirty. They would rather stay clean. So I do clip their nails more often than that. But if their nails need trimming, it's always a good time to do it right before bath time. And I like to use the scissor ones. There's also a type of nail clipper that's called a guillotine clipper. But I feel like with the dogs with small nails, it kind of crushes them and it can hurt them. So as long as you have one of these that's sharp, it's quick, it's easy. And I think this one just came from like Walmart or something. It's not anything fancy. Okay, and then after I do the nails, for Jordan, I have to trim his fur sometimes, because if you notice in the picture, he doesn't have long fur on his back. Now, he is a long-haired chihuahua, but he is what they call blue, which actually looks like gray to your eyes. But they call it blue. Their coat doesn't come in the same as other chihuahuas. There's something with the blue coloring where it's like sparse and it's not as thick and luxurious. So I tried to wait, I thought maybe he was just going through the puppies and stuff, but after like 2 or 3 years and his coat had it was patchy, we decided the best thing to do would be to keep it like a uniform length. That way he looks better, I don't want him to look like he's not cared for. So we just have one of these. It's by Wall and it's a pet one. And I have the guard on it, and we just trim his back with this, and we leave the fur growing down on the sides, and we leave the neck rough, so it's almost like a lion cut, and he's got a long tail. And then we have a little one like this to do the pads of his feet, because he's long-haired, so he will get hair in between his paws, which makes it so he slips, and it's harder for him to walk around. So it's important to do that. It's also important to know when you're using these, you don't want to get them right up against the skin, because you can burn them with the razor. So either use a guard, or you have to be like extra cautious. Okay, and then I have, next thing to show you is just a comb. And this is one that has a fine side and a thicker side. And with the long-haired dog, you always want to comb them before the bath, because if you get them wet and they have any mats or knots in their hair, the water will make it worse. So you want to make sure they're combed out ahead of time. And then I have this tool that I don't really ever use. It's called Fur Buster. Basically, it's like a non-name furminator. And I got this to use on Macy because Jordan's fur isn't the right type. You don't use these on a long-haired dog. You use them on a smooth coat that would shed. But her hair is just so dense that this doesn't really get through and do anything, and she hates it. So this kind of just sits in the drawer. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is actually the bathing. And I've got a little bucket here with all their shampoos and stuff I keep under the sink. Now, my dogs are small enough that I can bathe them in the kitchen sink with the nozzle attachment or in the tub. Macy's had some issues with her back, so I like to use the tub now because she can stand flatter and she doesn't climb up on the side. And if you have a dog that's had back issues or IVDD, you know that you're supposed to keep them on all fours so their back stays level. You don't want them like standing on their hind legs and leaning up on things. You don't want them jumping, any of that stuff. So the bathtub makes it a lot easier. So first I throw a towel on the floor of the tub and I make sure the water's a good temperature. Then I put them in and I can start the bath. The first product I'm going to show you that we use is called Blueberry Facial. And this isn't the type of bottle it comes in. This is actually a Tropiclean bottle. I don't know where you can buy this. My groomer, we used to buy food at a groomer. They were nice enough to give me about a half a bottle. Well, I mean, they charged me, but they were nice enough to, you know, it's something that they didn't sell, but because I asked and they were nice, they did sell it to me. So this I just use around the face. It's good for any tear stains. It doesn't get in their eyes and it doesn't make them cry, and it smells really nice. The product we use on their coats is, right now I'm using this shampoo, and it's organic shea butter shampoo, and it's by Shea Pet. And I just picked this up at a pet store. There's a pet store in Lafayette, New Jersey, and it's called, I think, Living Positively. P-A-W, Positively. And they have, it's not a pet store that sells puppies, so it's not, you're not supporting a puppy mill. But they sell all kinds of like foods and holistic things and treats. Basically just really healthy stuff. So I picked this up, and this was $15.99. And I picked this up over a year ago. I'm only down that far, so this will last like forever, especially since my dogs are small. And then once we're done with that, we use Tropiclean Kiwi Conditioner. And the reason all these bottles are like this is because the labels peel off over time. I've had this probably almost 5 years now, and I'm just about to run out, so I'll have to buy something else. But I feel like it was a good product and it lasted a long time. And then I just have this cup in there. I use this if they're in the tub and I'm not using the hand nozzle in the sink, just to rinse them and get them wet. Okay, and then while I have them in the tub, after I shampoo, I put the conditioner in, and while the conditioner is sitting in their fur, I let it sit for a few minutes while I do the rest of their stuff. For Macy, I have these little scissors here, and they're actually Tweezerman. They're made for human, like, manicuring scissors, but because they're so short and they have the blunted tip, I use them to trim some of her whiskers. I don't trim any of the ones around the muzzle area. She has ones, like, back here, here, and then a couple under the chin, and we just trim those. I do it purely for aesthetic reasons. We just liked the way it looked, and we leave, like, the main ones on here. I looked it up online first to see if it was okay. People said that it wouldn't affect them, so, and she seems to do good with it. I've been doing it for like almost all her life now, probably. She's going to be 11, and I've been doing it for probably like 7 years, so that. And then while we have them in the tub, I like to do their ears. You don't want to put these in the ear. You only want to clean like the outside area, like if it was here, the stuff you can see. You don't ever want to go down in the ear because you could hurt them. So you just clean the outer area that you can see. I know that a lot of the dog books and groomers things will tell you to use cotton swabs, or cotton balls, I mean. But with the tiny dogs like chihuahuas, the cotton balls are bigger than their ears, so there's no way I'd ever get to clean like the little folds. So I just use some cotton swabs. Okay, so that's it for the bath part. Now after I get them out of the bath, I have some perfumes, like cologne type sprays that I like for them. It's just something I've done ever since they were little. They have like their own signature scent. And this is Jordan's, and it's called Oh My Dog. And I actually picked this up at TJ Maxx before I had him. I tried it on Macy once when she was little, and I just didn't like it for a girl. So there was a matching shampoo also, but that's long since gone. But I mean, this is probably 9 years old at least. It still smells good, and I just give him a couple spritzes on his back before I dry him. And then Macy, the scent I use for her is baby powder, and I've had that ever since she was a puppy. And it's just something where when I smell it, it makes me think of her. That's why I like to keep the same scent. I don't change it up. It's like I said, a signature scent. And then once they're all cleaned up, I put the little perfume spray on them. I put it on their back, only on their back. That way it's like you don't want to get it on their legs where they can lick it or any place like that. I put it on their back so it's not by their face to bother them. That way when you snuggle up, you still smell it a little and just keeps them fresh. So we get him out of the tub. And Jordan, he gets towel dried because his hair is so fine. He'll be towel dried, and within 10 minutes he'll be dry to the touch. When he's dry, I use the comb on him again around his lion's mane and his ear fringe and his tail, just to get any remaining knots out and to fluff him up, and then he's done. Now Macy, because her coat is smooth, but it's really, really dense and thick, she will stay wet for hours if you don't take care of the drying. So I picked this up at TJ Maxx, and I've had this for a couple years, so this one actually works really great for me. It's got 2 settings, high and low. I usually use high, and you just turn it on by twisting. But this is hands-free, so it just sets flat on the countertop like that. And because she's small, I just hold her in my arms, and while this is blowing on us and I'm holding her, I just ruffle her fur backwards. That way it pulls out any of the stuff that has to shed. It gets it all out. She's a little bit lighter and fluffier, and it feels good for her. And another great thing about this is that it doesn't blow hot air. So there's no risk of overheating. I know sometimes with like the cage dryers or like the professional ones, they blow hot air. If you're not careful, a dog could overheat, or you can burn them or scorch them. But this blows like a cool air, so there's no chance of burning or overheating your dog. And like I said, I picked this up at TJ Maxx, and I think I probably paid like $15 to $20. It wasn't bad at all, and it's lasted a really long time. And if it went bad, I would definitely repurchase the same type, the one that stands on the counter, hands-free. And then the last product I have to show you is just these wipes. And these I have just for like random use. If we go somewhere for a walk or we play, or, you know, I feel like they just, you know, they're just a little not fresh. It's just to like wipe them off. Sometimes I use these on Jordan's belly because he's a boy dog, so boys sometimes get like the yellow stain and you want to, you know, wipe him off. That's also good for that. And these I just picked up at Marshall's, $2.99. I've never used this brand before, so I can't say that I bought them because it was a great brand or anything. I bought them to keep like in my hiking bag in case we were out in the woods and we needed something, or, you know, just something like to have handy. So that's all the stuff that I use for my grooming, and I hope that maybe it helps some of you guys or gave you some ideas of things that you need. There are some products that I do need to pick up that I don't have, and the 2 I can think of off the top of my head is I want to get some kind of a super absorbent towel for Macy, more so than a regular bath towel, because I feel like the bath towel doesn't soak up as much and you blow dry longer. So I want to try and find one of those like ShamWows or like a Turby towel that would work good on her to suck most of the water out and cut down on blow drying. And then another product I think I'm going to try and find, I would like to try and find some kind of a conditioning spray for Jordan, because in between baths he gets very staticky and his skin gets dry. So I feel like it would be more comfortable for him if I could find some kind of like a conditioning spray that I could just spray on him once a week in between baths, just to keep him not so staticky and have such flyaway hair. So I hope that helps some of you guys. If you have any products that you love, you can let me know below, and I'll try and respond to any questions that you have. And thanks for watching. Bye.